Hi everyone, Shane R. Monroe here. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I can prove it by comparing it with logic against an undisputed holiday flick, Christmas Vacation. While we're at it, we're going to debunk another commonly held as a Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon. Stick around.
Let's go into the Monroe world.
Alright, so I told you we were going to handle this logically, right? So we're going to take 4 common points about filmmaking and movies, and we're going to apply it across the board. We're going to look at time at Christmas, right? How much of the film is actually taking place on Christmas or around Christmas. We're going to look at plot points about Christmas. How is Christmas driving the narrative? References to Christmas, direct references in the film, and how difficult would it be to replace Christmas like part and parcel across the entire film. So we're going to look at Christmas Vacation, Lethal Weapon, and then we're going to finish it up with Die Hard. Starting with Christmas Vacation, which nobody can deny is a Christmas movie, let's talk about time at Christmas. That seems like it would be a slam dunk, but it kind of isn't. The movie opens up with them getting a Christmas tree from the middle of nowhere. Now, if you've been looking around, Christmas starts about November 1st, right? So it is entirely possible that this film started at the beginning of November, which certainly is not near or around Christmas. Even if you took that out of the equation, they did show using an advent calendar to show the passing of time, which means at worst, the movie started December 1st, which is still not really around Christmas time. So there could be months in there. They could have gotten that tree in November, and there was a lot of prep time involved before the actual holiday, which doesn't actually take much precedence inside the movie itself. It's the time leading up to it. So out of a 10-point scale, we're going to give Christmas Vacation, Time at Christmas, 7 out of 10 points. Plot points about Christmas. Okay, let's be honest, right? Most of the movie's about Christmas. Pretty much every scene talks about Christmas. It's in pursuit of Christmas. It's about Christmas. There's a few outliers there, but let's give it a nice, generous 9 out of 10 points on plot points about Christmas. References to Christmas. Slam dunk, right? We don't need to filibuster this. It's a 10 out of 10. It is all about Christmas. References to Christmas are like in every scene. There's a reason why it's universally accepted as a Christmas movie. 10 out of 10 references to Christmas. Now, here's something that I thought was interesting that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, because this whole Die Hard Christmas Vacation is a long-running tale on YouTube. Difficulty replacing Christmas. You know, every time I watch Christmas Vacation, which is at least like once a year, I started to realize it's not really about Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, because of the fact that it's actually very simple to replace Christmas. And I guarantee you, you've seen this movie before when it wasn't Christmas. And I'll give you a direct reference. It's been done a million times, but the most easy way to discuss it is, think of the movie 16 Candles. Now compare 16 Candles to this movie. There's a lot of similarities, right? It would be pretty easy to strip the holiday of Christmas out of this movie. It's really about a disastrous family event planning gone horribly wrong, right? So you could literally take Christmas right out of this and have the same type of movie like Meet the Fockers and 16 Candles. They're all sort of in there, right? It would not be all that hard to remove Christmas from Christmas Vacation and have it be a complete coherent movie. It's true. But I'll tell you what, we're going to give it 8 out of 10 anyway, because of the central theme of Christmas. So that gives us, if you were keeping score, that gives us 34 out of 40 points. Excellent score. It is a undisputed Christmas movie. Let's move on to Lethal Weapon, Time at Christmas. It's pretty vague, right? There are mentions of Riggs coming over for Christmas dinner. There was some references about the silly season that the jumper was maybe depressed about before Riggs jumped off the building with him. There are some set pieces, but let's be honest, there's really no timeline surrounding it that says this takes place in any sort of majority at Christmas or immediately around Christmas. So that gets 2 out of 10 points. References to Christmas, as we mentioned before, there's a few. Riggs is watching the Looney Tunes Scrooge Ghost cartoon at the beginning, right? Indicating Christmas time. We have the jumper where he mentions the silly season that they're in at that point in time. They do mention Christmas dinner, but it's still pretty sparse. There's not a whole lot of reference to Christmas. We're going to give it 2 out of 10. I think that's a fair scoring there. Plot points about Christmas. Well, there's none, right? I mean, you do get Christmas dinner. There's your mention. There's a plot point about Christmas dinner, and there is the backdrop of the Murtaugh home. Gary Busey actually mentioning Christmas when he breaks into their home looking for Riggs and Murtaugh, but yeah, there's not a lot of plot points there. That's 2 out of 10. Now, how hard would it be to replace Christmas from Lethal Weapon? Well, I could probably wipe Christmas out of that movie with DaVinci Resolve in 10 minutes of my time. It's a set dressing at best. I'll give it 1 out of 10 points, right? That's probably even being generous. It probably should get 0 points. So the final score of Lethal Weapon is 7 compared to Christmas Vacation's 34. So yeah, no, Lethal Weapon, not a Christmas movie. Great movie, just not a Christmas movie. Now we move on to the movie of the hour, Die Hard. Time at Christmas. A lot of people may not realize it, but the entire movie takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas. The whole movie. He flies in on Christmas Eve. He immediately goes to Nakatomi Plaza. He's there on Christmas Eve for a Christmas party, and the movie ends probably sometime after midnight, which means it ends on Christmas. It's like a 24-hour period, literally on Christmas. I mean, I'm not sure how much we need to do. This is a complete sweep of points, 10 out of 10 points. Even kicking Christmas Vacation's butt. Plot points about Christmas. All right, it's a little weaker here, but the entire thing is a Christmas party. It doesn't necessarily drive the narrative, but it constantly engages the narrative. You can see things like the watch that Holly gets at the beginning, right? It doesn't say it's a Christmas gift, but it is the season of giving, and the watch, of course, turns out to be a big plot point towards the end. You have things like Christmas tape holding the gun to the back of his, between his shoulders on his back towards the end. You got the Christmas wishes written in blood on the terrorist shirt, right? I mean, we could probably give this a higher score, but in the interest of keeping things fair, we're going to call it 7 out of 10. References to Christmas. There are constant references to Christmas. In fact, there are over 20 specific call-outs to Christmas, plus all of the inferences, right? I mean, they're constantly talking about it. McClane's talking to Takagi about it. Everybody's talking about it. I'm going to give it a cautious score of 8 out of 10. Difficulty replacing Christmas. Now, this seems like a slam dunk, right? It's a party in a building, terrorists, and a hero. You should be able to just wipe Christmas right out of that. But there's something that you don't really think about. Christmas sets a stage for something important. Huge holiday parties. There's no holiday party that happens at a big corporation outside of Christmas. Half of the people in there are drunk out of their minds. It helps drive the narrative. It would be very difficult to replace that with any other holiday. You could say, oh, they're all getting together for, I don't know, winter break party or something. I mean, but the point is, though, is that the entire point of everybody being there, the way that they're gathered, how everything is put together, really revolves kind of around Christmas and the traditional Christmas party at a large company, even if it is one owned by a Japanese firm. So I would say it would be difficult to replace Christmas as the stage. You could probably go in and wipe some of the trappings out of it, change some of the references. But honestly, it's a little harder to remove the main driver of the film without having Christmas there. But for argument's sake, let's call it 5 out of 10. And I think that's probably a low number. So what does that give us for Die Hard? A score of 30. And I'd say anything that's 30 or above using this scale should certainly be considered a Christmas movie, considering it's only a 4-point spread from Christmas Vacation, which is an undeniable Christmas movie. So there you have it. Why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I look forward to your respectful arguments in the comments below. While you're there, of course, like, sub, and do all that good stuff. And take care. We'll see you next time.